Welcome to Narka Tales. They say love transforms you. But what happens when it unravels the person you thought you knew? Tonight, we travel to the vibrant streets of New York City, where one family's ordinary life slides into chaos. I'm taking you into the world of O.P., a man born in the South Bronx, and his once gentle wife, now spiraling into an unsettling Karenism fueled by fear, control, and something far more unexpected. From the very beginning, their story seemed written by fate. He, a tough kid who'd seen the roughest corners of the Bronx, fistfights, gunshots, stabbings, yet somehow forged a path towards something better. She, a Kansas City suburb girl who fell for NYC's bright lights and boundless opportunity when she arrived at 18 for college. They met in a smoky bar one unforgettable night, before either realized how closely their destinies would entwine. A one-night stand became a lifetime commitment when, mere weeks later, she discovered she was pregnant. They argued briefly, we weren't ready, they laughed in disbelief, then leaned into something deeper than planning or timing. A family blossomed, their son, the beloved center of their world, born 3 months after they wed. Life might not have been perfect, but they were thriving both professionally and personally, until an unsettling shift began to reveal itself in her. It started small. At first, they chalked it up to wellness trends. She quit gluten, then meat, insisting on an all-vegan household. He tried to adapt, setting aside his favorite Sunday morning bacon, but each savory strip he once adored now sparked her ire. The dinner table turned into a battleground. When he grilled chicken for their son, her tears fell like acid rain. Don't support animal cruelty in my home, she choked out. Then came the yoga classes, 3 times a week, sometimes dragging him along, chanting mantras on cold kitchen tiles at dawn. When he declined, she wept and begged him to share her practice. We should align our chakras together, she insisted, face streaked with tears. He, hardened by a childhood where tears were rare, felt helpless. Movies, too, became forbidden territory. No violence, no drugs, no dark humor. She proclaimed them energetically toxic. With each new binge of classic noir or crime drama, she'd pause the screen, eyes wide with disgust. I can't support these patriarchal fantasies. Soon, their living room transformed into a shrine of pastel yoga mats and cruelty-free cookbooks, the TV collecting dust. But it was her overprotectiveness of their 12-year-old son that truly raised alarm bells. Once a free spirit who biked the block with friends, his world shrank under her watchful gaze. Those kids come from uncultured homes, she warned, red-faced with righteous fury. She forbade him from afternoon rides unless she personally escorted him. She confiscated his tablet, replacing his EDM and metal playlists with Mumford & Sons and Taylor Swift. He, a boy who once found solace in heavy riffs and thumping bass, felt orphaned in his own house. And then, the tipping point. One spring evening, the son's frustrations surged into violence. Denied the simple joy of roaming his street with buddies, he smashed dishes in the kitchen, shards scattering like broken dreams. He stormed out, a howl of adolescent rebellion echoing down the block. For 5 agonizing hours, the parents did not know where he was. The police became unwilling participants in this family drama, called by Arp's wife in frantic desperation, searching for a boy her husband assumed she had frightened away. When he finally returned, silent and sullen, she collapsed into sobs, convinced she'd lost her only child forever. Night after night, she wept uncontrollably in the corner of their bedroom, rocking back and forth. Their marital bed became an altar of tears and recrimination, each blaming the other for driving their son to despair. You always defend him, she screamed at O.P. during one volatile confrontation. You're another example of toxic masculinity, just like your rough Bronx friends. He recoiled, wounded. The man who'd shielded her from every hardship felt vilified by the woman he'd loved since her first college exam. Friends and family watched helplessly. Was this midlife crisis? A desperate attempt to reclaim youth among Brooklyn hipster yoga circles? Or something darker, an undercurrent of mental anguish hidden beneath kale smoothies and vegan cookouts? He tried logic. This isn't you, he'd plead, voice hoarse. But logic carried no weight in the whirlwind of her anger. Then, one night, a phone call shattered his heart. She threatened to end it all. Pills, tears, a whispered farewell to their son's empty room. The police intervened again, finding her entwined in self-harm's cold embrace. The air in their New York flat crackled with urgency. She needed help. In the bleak hours before dawn, O.P., once reluctant to see psychiatric care as anything more than a stigma, sat beside her hospital bed and watched a doctor utter the words that would rewrite their entire reality: severe B12 deficiency. The diagnosis was simple, shocking, almost unbelievable. Nutrient-starved. Her body had warped her mind. Without enough vitamin B12, her nerves misfired, her emotions ran unchecked, her judgment twisted. A vitamin pill, tiny, everyday, held the promise to reverse the storm raging in her head. Within days of supplementation, the drama began to unravel. The rigid vegan zeal gave way to balanced meals. Her tears dried as clarity returned. She apologized, bashful, fragile, for the cruelty inflicted on her husband and son. "I don't know how I let fear become my god." The twist cut deeper than any drug or surgery. A deficiency of a single vitamin had devolved their home into a battlefield of broken plates and broken hearts. They realized she wasn't young and free or seeking a hipster clan. She was literally starving her brain. Now, as O.P. stands at the window of their New York flat, he holds her hand, solid flesh, healed by science and love. Their son pedals freely around the block again, playlist restored, laughter echoing in the spring air. And at dinner, they gather around a plate of egg salad sandwiches, rich in B12, humble in price, miraculous in effect, knowing that recovery can arrive on the simplest wings. In the end, it wasn't therapy or tropical retreats, nor flash mobs or fearsome confrontations that saved their family. It was compassion for a partner in crisis, and the humility to test the impossible, that a single pill could return a lost soul. So the next time someone you love lashes out in inexplicable fury, remember this tale. Sometimes the fiercest storms of the mind can be weathered by the gentlest remedies. And sometimes, what we mistake for madness is simply a call for the right nourishment. From the heart of the Bronx to the heights of Brooklyn's yoga temples, this was a story of love tested by panic, redeemed by medicine, and bound by the unlikeliest twist of fate. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe for more journeys into lives turned upside down, and back again, right here on Narca Tales.